Thank you all for being here tonight for tonight's special announcement. My name is Adam Gregg, and I am proud and honored to serve as your Lieutenant Governor. And I can't tell you how proud I am to be part of this team with Governor Kim Reynolds. I'm so proud to work with a governor who stands for freedom, a governor who stands for opportunity, a governor who stands for common sense, a governor who has led us through challenging times, through natural disasters, through a global pandemic, and through her leadership, we've come out better and stronger on the other side. Now, Governor and I have served in these roles for nearly 5 years, and I've learned so much serving side by side with her. But probably the most important thing I've learned, leadership matters. It matters who serves as your governor. You might say it matters who serves as your lieutenant governor too while I've got the microphone. It matters who serves you in the legislature and in the city councils and on the county boards. But it especially matters who serves as your governor. Because as we've seen, unanticipated events can come along. Events for which there's no playbook. There's no plank in the party platform. There's no recent history to turn to. And in those moments, who the leader is matters. Their character, their judgment, their priorities. And aren't you glad that we had this particular person leading our state these past few years? Absolutely. Now hold on. Before we bring her out, I'm going to invite you to turn your attention to this video monitor. Now, we sent the campaign team out on the road to talk to Iowans from all corners of our state and hear their stories and bring them back to you. Because whether you came here from Illinois or Washington State, or whether you farmed your whole life just outside the town of Keota, or you're a hardworking mom living in West Des Moines, or a bright young athlete from Carlisle, or an entrepreneur who took a chance starting a business during the pandemic, Iowa is home. Let's hear their stories.
Yeah, I'm Ainsley Erzen. I'm 18. I go to high school at Carlisle High School. I'm involved in track and soccer.
I'm Alexa Meyer. I live in Marengo from Williamsburg. We both grew up in a farm here in rural Williamsburg. And I'm Dana Mace, and I live here in Williamsburg.
I grew up in Mason City, Iowa, and I went to college in Cedar Falls at UNI, and we've been in the Des Moines area since '07.
And I'm from Keota, Iowa.
Yeah, so I'm actually from Central Illinois, moved to Iowa a little more than a year and a half ago now.
We actually moved here from Washington State about a year and a half ago, and we're from the Quad City area originally. We really needed to get our family back to the middle, and Iowa seemed like a really nice place to land. So when we had the opportunity, we jumped at it.
We truly love being a small business in rural Iowa. We feel like we get so much support from our community.
If I could go back to Illinois and speak to them on behalf of Iowa, I would tell them that's the best state in America.
Really just the people are so genuine. We've lived all over the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and honestly, the people in the middle are some of the nicest that we've ever met, and we couldn't be more happy to be where we are right now.
Yeah, I describe Iowa as just a place where there are a lot of kind people that can have your back.
There is a certain thing about Iowa nice, right? But really, especially the last couple of years, seeing everything that's happened with COVID and everything that's been in the news, it's really made me realize how great of a place Iowa is.
A large part of the reason that I moved here was security. Iowa just provided better security with Kim's policies and the things that she was implementing, and I knew that if I came here, the chances of me having a job and keeping the job were significantly higher.
When agriculture does good, Iowa does good. I think that's shown itself in the last couple of years when you talk about surpluses in the financial position of the state of Iowa, it's because we've had a couple of good years of farming.
I think Kim Reynolds is the best governor in America because she fights for people and the rights, the Constitution, and our freedoms.
I look up to Governor Reynolds so much. I think I already did, just based on how strong she is in her pursuit of truth.
There's just so much. I mean, she's caring, she is easygoing, she just is like one of us. And she cares about Iowa, she wants to support small businesses, and we just don't have anything bad to say about her. She's a great person. Yeah.
I would say to Kim, keep up the good work. You really put a good face out there for Iowa. You make us proud.
The first word that comes to mind when I hear the name Kim Reynolds is bold.
Oh man, fire.
The first word that comes to mind when I hear Kim Reynolds is selfless, because she really just gives to others before herself, and that's really important for someone in a leadership position.
If I could say one thing to Kim Reynolds right now, it would be thank you.
Thank you for keeping and thinking of Iowa businesses like ours, and being willing to let us keep our doors open, and you're just so thankful to have a governor like her at Iowa, and thank you.
Thank you for working so hard for Iowans. Thank you for being genuine. Thank you for following through on your promises.
She's just so kind and down to earth, and I think that's something you don't get to see a lot, so to be able to just see how much of a kind person she is was just amazing on top of everything else she's already done for Iowa.
All right, now you ready to hear from her? She loves this state. She leads with courage. She leads with strength. She leads with resilience. She cares about our future, and she will always stand up for the people of Iowa. So join me in welcoming to the stage our great governor, Kim Reynolds.
This is incredible. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I want to start just by thanking the Lieutenant Governor for, first of all, those kind words and for being such a tremendous, important part of this team. I also want to take a moment just to thank the Iowans who shared their story with us. Really, thanks for demonstrating the pride that Iowans feel in this incredible place we call home. And I also, most importantly, I want to thank my family for being here. My dad, Kevin, Nicole, Jen, Jess, Ryan, Jason, Scott, and of course those 11 grandchildren who I love dearly and keep me going every single day. My mom isn't with us tonight, but she's here in spirit, and we love her dearly, and I know she's thinking of me, so my heart goes out to my mom. But I want to say thank you for being my rock and for reminding me every single day what is important. And just a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for being here tonight. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am for your support, for your prayers, for those notes of encouragement. You know, I say it over and over. I am so blessed to be the governor of this great state. Every single day, I am in awe of your spirit, of your kindness and generosity. And I was reminded of that this weekend when tragedy hit again as the tornadoes ripped through the central Iowa. The outpouring and compassion and hope, even in the face of tragedy, was moving. The number of volunteers on the ground that next morning, inspiring. As I visited some of the homes that were impacted, I would thank the volunteers that were there helping haul the debris away. And almost without hesitation, I'm telling you, as I thanked them, their response was, well, for heaven's sakes, we're Iowans. Where else would we be? So tonight, if you want to continue to support those affected by the tornadoes, we do have buckets in the back of the room for donations, as well as information on a website where you can also contribute. But most importantly, let's continue to keep all of those families that were impacted in our prayers. Okay, now we're gonna get going. I just want to start again by saying what an honor it is to serve as your governor, to stand alongside of you in the defense of life, liberty, of freedom, and a constitution that protects those rights. So I'll be honest, when I was elected governor, I could not have imagined what lied ahead of us. Floods, a pandemic, a derecho, tornadoes, droughts, civil unrest, you name it, we faced it. It hasn't been easy, but let me just say, Iowans came through. You, everyone in this room came through. And I knew you would, and that's why I put my faith in you, and that's why I'm so lucky to be your governor. Because no matter what comes at you, each and every one of you, you show up every time and you do what you need to do. What I love about Iowans are they're humble, they're hardworking, and patriotic. You step up and you take responsibility for your communities, for your neighbors, and ultimately you take responsibility for yourself. Last week, I had the incredible honor of carrying that message, your message, to the entire country. I told your story. It was about each and every one of you. It was about Iowans doing what they do every single day. And I got the opportunity to share that story with the nation and with the world. So thank you. Thank you for giving me a platform to tell that story. And here's the good news. That contrast could not be more stark. It was fun. Over the last few years, when you turned on the television and you watched the nightly news, you'd see one America, where cities were defunding the police and crime was rampant. Businesses were locked down and kids were out of the classroom. You would see a nation in chaos. But in Iowa, when you stepped outside of your home, you experienced something completely different. Businesses were open, kids were in school, law enforcement proudly and effectively enforced the rule of law. Neighbors were helping neighbors. Let's thank our men and women in uniform who keep us safe every single day. Woo! That's Iowa. This is Iowa. In all of that chaos and all of that madness, we didn't lose ourselves. We didn't lose our character. Instead, when Democrats across the country pushed for more government control, Iowa stood up and we stood out. We fought for greater freedom. We took on Biden's COVID mandates. We banned mass mandates in our schools. Well, here's the little secret and the facts. We did it last spring, not last week. Woo! We got our kids back in the classroom, and again, we did it before anyone else. Unlike Democrats, we didn't wait for bad poll numbers to finally discover science. In Iowa, we said no to a world of cancel culture, where an elite few try to tell us what we can and cannot say, what we can and cannot believe. Because despite what you hear from President Biden and liberal elites, the threats facing this nation aren't from Canadian truckers, Joe Rogan's podcast, or parents who care about their child's education. The threats come from politicians who tell parents they should sit down, be silent, and let government control their kids' future. From elected officials who restrict your freedoms with COVID mandates that they don't even follow. From a United States president who refuses to do his job and secure our border. Who refuses to stop human trafficking, and who refuses to stop the staggering influx of deadly drugs that are pouring into our neighborhoods. The problems come from a government that pays people to stay home and taxes those who go to work, that borrows and spends trillions bankrupting your children and sending inflation soaring. I think it's fairly clear that the Democrats aren't focused on the problems that you're facing. When you elected me to serve as your governor, I promised that I would never lose sight of who I was working for. I promised that I would deliver on the policies I ran on. And with the help of the Republicans in the legislature, we're keeping those promises. We are protecting the unborn and standing up for our law enforcement. We're preserving girls' sports for girls. We're protecting the integrity of our elections. We're promoting energy independence and our homegrown biofuels. And unlike DC, we're not overspending. We're balancing our budget and we're cutting taxes. Last week was a big week. Not only did I get to tell our story, but I signed the third tax cut since taking office. It's big news. This is a legislature and a governor that gets things done. 4 years ago, our top rate was almost 9%. Now it's going to 3.9, flat and fair. And my dad is really, really happy about this one. We eliminated taxes on your retirement income. I think there's a lot of happy Iowans. We're going to keep them in Iowa. We're not sending them to Texas and Arizona anymore. We're going to keep them home. You know, every day we continue to support our schools, but we're also empowering parents with greater parental control and transparency in our education system. Because and as the signs show, parents matter. These are your kids, not the government's. As long as I'm governor, Iowa is going to be a state where you can live your life freely, where you don't have to wake up in the morning and worry about the next thing that the government is going to do to you, your business, or your children. After all, Iowa State motto is, our liberties we prize, and our rights we will maintain. That's what I believe, that's what Republicans believe, and that's what this next election is about. It is not about liberal versus conservative. It is not about Republican versus Democrat. It's about who's going to fight to keep Iowa and America free. It's about who's going to put their trust in you. President Biden won't. Blue state governors across the country didn't. But I did. Your Republican legislators did. And we will continue to do so. So that's why I'm fired up, and I am so excited to finally announce tonight my candidacy for governor of the great state of Iowa. I love you guys. Hold you to this excitement and this momentum. So we are gonna go. We're all gonna keep going because the fight isn't over. And with your vote, your support, your prayers, we can continue to get this done. I want to use the next 4 years to show how much further we can go when we trust Iowans. And I need your help. The team needs your help. And this year, we have an incredible opportunity to not just keep the governor's office and our majorities in the House and the Senate. We have the opportunity to expand those majorities, to re-elect Senator Grassley, to take all 4 congressional seats. And for the first time in a long time, we have an opportunity to take statewide offices that we haven't held in decades. So I want to take a moment to invite that Republican team up on the stage. Majority Leader Whitfer, Speaker Grassley, Secretary of Agriculture Mike Naig, Secretary of State Paul Bate, Treasurer Candidate Robbie Smith, Attorney General Candidate Brenna Bird, Auditor Candidate Marianne Hanusa, and I got a whole lot of legislators out there and candidates that are running for the congressional seat, but this is the team that's gonna get it done. I'm so excited. We're ready to hit the road. We're ready to make this the best November ever. With a victory in November, we can ensure that Iowa remains a beacon of freedom, liberty, and unlimited prosperity, a state that's known for opportunity. And Iowa, where our young people will grow up here and want to stay here to raise a family. Yes, got 11 grandkids over there. And an Iowa even greater than the one we have today. So let's get out there, let's spread the message, and let's make sure that Iowans show up to the polls in November. Now I want your help with this, okay? This is a participation part. And I think you're the right crowd to do it, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this. Because when we show up, we win! Because when we show up, we win. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. God bless you, and God bless the great